Hey, what's up, y'all? So I'm out in Battle Creek, Michigan. I decided to get away for the weekend. For those of you that come to my channel on a regular basis and you know me, you know that I do like playing poker. And even though my channel is not about poker, it's about law, from time to time, I talk about poker. And today, well, this weekend, what I ended up doing was coming out to Battle Creek, Michigan to get a couple of games in. And I'll tell you about how things are going with that in a second. But first, let's talk about Battle Creek, Michigan. Just consider this a review of Battle Creek, Michigan, and the Fireside, or what's the name of this casino? Hold on, I think I got a card in my pocket. The casino is called, what is the name of this casino? Yeah, so the casino is called Fire. I don't know if you can see that, but it basically is called Firekeepers Casino and Hotel. So let's just talk about that for a second. So first off, the casino is very nice. The casino, to me, it just seems like it's kind of new because everything in there just kind of has that brand new look and feel. I don't even know how long it's been around. Maybe if you guys want to check that and leave your comments below. But the casino itself is really nice. The people in the casino, on the other hand, is a totally different story. I found a lot of those people to just be absolutely rude. And I almost want to say racist, but you really can't, you don't want to just default to the word racist every time you have a bad experience, That's almost as worse as accusing people of rape when they actually, didn't rape the person or whatever. So you don't want to default to calling people racist. But this is what I will say. Man, them motherfuckers was rude as hell in there. Rude as all fucking hell. I mean, it was so bad that it makes me not even want to come back. The first thing I noticed is that so I go to the bar to get a Coke. And I go, okay, let me get a glass of Coke, which actually they carry Pepsi, they don't carry Coke. So I go, let me get a glass of Coke with some ice, right? So right away, the guy starts laughing at me. I mean, he had to be like in his probably early 20s, smart ass, troublemaker, probably shouldn't even be working there. He seemed like the type that probably spends more time running game on people or more time doing mischievous shit than he does doing productive stuff, right? So he laughs right away. Right away, he laughs and he starts kind of like mocking me. Coke with ice. And then he turns to his coworker and he was like, give him a Coke with some ice in it. It's Pepsi. We just had Pepsi. And I mean, the dude was like rude as fuck. I mean, it was so bad that I was stunned. So his coworker goes to get the Pepsi, but instinctively, because of the way the guy kind of, because of how things were going, I said, man, let me just watch this motherfucker. So I watch his coworker go get the Pepsi, and his coworker is like watching me. His coworker was watching me watch him. So I'm like, oh man, these motherfuckers on some bullshit. So I turned my head for a second, and what he did was, the coworker takes the straw and he puts it on top of the Pepsi, but he does it, oh damn, we got a serious echo in this motherfucker. The coworker takes the straw and he puts it on top of the Pepsi, but he does it in a way where he's able to put his finger into my drink. And I just looked at him, I'm like, man, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? And I know he did it on purpose because he was watching me to see if I was paying attention. So I was like, man, you can keep that. You can keep that motherfucking Pepsi. That Pepsi is all yours, baby. So, I mean, there was just a lot of experiences like that. And then The other reason I want to default to rude, because when you finally get to the poker room, they have some crazy policies. It's like they just don't care. They just don't care. Like one of the, damn, oh shit, I'm almost out of breath. I may actually have to stop. So for those of you that know me, you probably also know rather, that I'm out of shape. And once in a while, I go on these little walks to try to get in shape, so to speak. But so I'm actually walking on something called Historic Bridge Park or something like that. So apparently it's a famous park. I just had breakfast and I'm just getting a little morning walk. And then I'm going to head back to the casino to play some more poker. And again, I'm gonna tell you how my poker sessions are going in a second here. Damn. Whew. Damn, let me stop a little bit. So that wasn't even a huge hill, but this shit got my motherfucking heart pumping and my blood racing. That shows you how out of shape I am. But yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna try to get into traveling a little bit more. Be nice if I had a little girlfriend to travel with, but unfortunately, that's not in the cards right now. That shit is not in the cards. Which, by the way, I ended up trying to mac to this one little cutie that I met at the gas station. What was it, Thursday? And if I have time, I'll tell you how bad that went. Damn, is this it? Is this it? So it looks like I've come up to a road, but it looks like I'm supposed to go around here to continue on. It looks like this nature path isn't that big. It's just, it feels like they just have me going around in circles. So back to the casino. So in a poker room, typically, most poker rooms, they have this thing called a meal button. Whereas when you sit down and start playing poker, eventually you're gonna get hungry. You're gonna wanna get up, take a break. You're gonna wanna get up and get some refreshments. So typically, you just get up. Well, typically you ask for the meal button, and that's an indication that you're on break, and then you just get up and you walk around. So this is North County National Scene Trail. I thought this place was called Historic Bridge Park, but I guess not. So I asked these motherfuckers for the meal button. I'm like, man, look, let me get the meal button. I want to take a break. And he goes, oh, there's no meal button here. He said, you can just get up and do whatever you need to do. But if you miss 3 blinds, we're going to pick you up. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was kind of disappointing because I think I'm gonna turn around and go back. I don't know, we'll see. Because I actually passed this area earlier when I was driving. I'll go a little further. But he goes, yeah, so there's no meal button. You just go ahead and do whatever you need to do. And he said, if you miss 3 blinds, we'll pick you up. Which basically means that they're gonna take you off the table and give your seat to somebody else. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit is crazy as hell. And mentally, I wanted to just default to racist, but it's just their little policy. It's just their little policy. And, honestly, I believe they just don't know the meaning of hospitality and customer service. I think that's what it is. So as I'm sitting down playing, I actually watched them pick another guy up. He comes back from his, coming back from the restroom. He's like, what happened to my chips? And he's like, where's my seat? Why is this guy in my seat? And the manager comes along, he goes, oh, we picked you up. He was like, we took your seat. And he was like, I just went to the restroom. He was like, yeah, but I know you missed 3 blinds. The guy was mad than a motherfucker. Mad than a motherfucker. I was like, damn. So, needless to say, when I went to go and get food, I was basically running back and forth or rushing back and forth to, get food and come back to get my chips. I mean, coming back to get my seat to make sure that I didn't get picked up. And it was just kind of a hassle because I had to rush and eat my food. I didn't get a chance to enjoy it. Other things I noticed about the casino is that the poker room itself really wasn't that well organized. I don't know what the hell this shit is over here. It looks like maybe somebody did some illegal dumping, but this is too beautiful of a place for them to do some stupid shit like that. They need to come and get that shit up. Or maybe somebody needs to tell the city or state, the city of Battle Creek, that this shit is out here so they can come and get it. Because that just looks bad. And like I said, this is just an absolutely beautiful place. So I mean, the casino was just all fucked up when it comes down to customer service. Sorry for cursing, but the casino was, maybe I'll edit that out. But I'll just say the casino was just all messed up when it came down to customer service. The other thing I noticed is that when it came down to actually buy the chips, you had to wait in a long line, and it took like maybe 30 or 40 minutes to actually buy the chips. And then I ended up leaving and coming. Ended up leaving, getting in a hotel room and coming back, and then they didn't even have the chip station open, so I had to go from the poker room all the way to the other side of the casino, purchase the chips, and then come back. So overall, the casino looked really nice, but in the realm of customer service, in the realm of just being polite and kind, I mean, they failed on that. I'm not even finna lie to you. Those people were rude. They were unorganized, and overall, I probably wouldn't come back to the casino, which is kind of a shame. Because I'm not gonna say I'll never come back, because like I said, I like switching things up, and this was within driving distance. It took me about 3 hours to drive here, so I'm not gonna say I won't come back, but it was just horrible. The experience was 100% horrible. I would avoid coming back. Let me say that. I hope I don't get any ticks out here, which is a shame. It's a shame because this place is stunning. I mean, look at this. Like, if you're a nature guy, you love being out in nature, this is probably one of the places you want to be. I wonder what home prices are out here, because I could see myself, if I had money, if I was well off, if I had money and if I was well off, I could see myself getting a vacation home out here and coming out here, during the, during the summer times or whatever. I can even see myself living out here, but, eventually I have to be in the big city at some point. But I can actually see myself spending time out here. So that's it for the casino and Battle Creek. The only other downside about Battle Creek is that outside, or the casino, is that, number one, the casino's food was horrible. That's the other thing. And there didn't seem to be too many options besides the casino food. And things seem to be so far apart that there doesn't seem much else. There doesn't seem to be any more food options besides what's in the casino. But I was lucky enough to find a McDonald's. So I ended up, getting something to eat at McDonald's. So that was that. The other negative thing about the casino is that if you come out here on the weekends, they have a set price for the rooms. So the rooms were, the rooms were about, what was it, 261. Then they wanted me to put a deposit down. Like, deposit? What the fuck I need to put a deposit down? You know, of course I wanted to default to the word racist. You know, you just trying to make me put a deposit down because I'm black. But again, you can't throw that word around like that. And as a black man, as black people, we shouldn't walk around with a chip on our shoulder. So, you know, maybe that's just a way of them holding your money. Maybe they're just assholes and not racist, right? You know, maybe they just want to hold your money and they're just going to find any little reason to nitpick. Because I've never seen anyone ask for a deposit on a fucking room. That's just ridiculous. I mean, if something happens in a room, you have my information, just sue me. You know what I mean? Or just, you know, charge my credit card at that point if something happens in a room. What else? So I ended up going down to another hotel that was down the street from the casino. It was called the Quality Inn, and that was horrible. I'll never go to a Quality Inn again in my life. My room smelled like feet. The air condition was horrible. But after playing poker, and I ended up actually losing about $600. And it was like, at that time, it was like maybe 11 o'clock, and I was tired from driving. At that point, I just wanted a room. And that was like one of the best prices. Maybe it was just too cheap. Again, it was like 160, 161. With tax, it came out to 181. So that versus paying for a room that was going to be 260 plus double, basically. So all in all, it probably would have came out to like 315 to 320. You know, the Quality Inn just seemed like a better option. But I got to tell you, there was no quality in that inn. But, you know, it was good enough, I guess. So that's that, right? You know, so let me talk about my poker experience. So when I got here, the first thing I did was I went straight to the poker table. Straight to the poker table, sat down, and I started playing right off. And I started off pretty good. I changed my strategy up, and you know, before I used to, you know, I have all different types of strategies I use when I play poker, and we're not even going to get into that. This is not really a poker strategy video, but when I sat down, you know, so over the last week or so, I changed my strategy, and I'm doing something new. I'll just tell you about that. Typically, what I used to do is just say, I have pot odds, I'm going to call. And what I realized is that just because you have pot odds doesn't mean you should necessarily call. Pot odds is not assigned to call. So what I try to do now is that if I have pot odds and I have a shitty hand, I just fold, right? I just fold. And then there's other times when I just fold automatically because I'm just trying to play aces or kings or, you know, the big Broadway cards. So, but this time, if I got pot odds, I would check to see what my hand is. And if I had something like a suited connector or a connected, two connected cards or two, so the criteria was suited, connected, or connected. I really wasn't paying anything that had, I would play gap connect, you know, gap suited, you know, meaning you get like a 6 of spades and you get like an 8 of spades. I'll play that. And I was playing it pretty aggressively, and I was killing the motherfuckers. I was killing them. So within the first 5 minutes of sitting down, I was up like maybe like $300. But I think in the end, I ended up playing too many hands, and they saw that I was actually winning with, you know, a lot of, small cards like 7s, 6s, or whatever. So where they would have normally feared me, they called me. And when they called me, they were, you know, winning by one card. You know, so I think eventually what happened, I just started losing. The strategy was good, but I was just playing way too many hands and I was way too aggressive. And there was a couple of hands, I won't say that I bluffed, but I pushed too hard. And by pushing too hard, I ended up getting calls and paying too much for mediocre hands. So man, look at this back here. This looks like a little trail. Let's see if I'm brave enough to go off the beaten path. Let's see. I'm probably finna turn around, y'all, because you know, I don't want to get too far from my car and everything, so I'm gonna turn around in a minute. But ooh, it smells so good over here. I wonder what that is. It's almost a lavender. It smells real good. It's not lavender, but it's a lavender-like smell. I wonder what plant or what bush is giving off that smell. It's almost like a perfume type smell, but you know, of course, it's coming from a plant or something. But it smells good. So yeah, so long story dull, I ended up, oh man, that smells really good. What the hell is this? Let's see if this is it. No, it wasn't that one. I don't know what the hell it is. Not that one there either. I don't know what it is, but like I said, it's a sweet lavender type smell. Now, I don't know if they have mountain cats up here, but I sure in the hell hope that I don't run into one, because if I do, they're gonna claw my fat ass to pieces. Or bears or some crazy shit. Hope I don't run into anything like that, because I do not have a gun and I have no way of defending myself. So anyway, so I ended up being about 600 bucks. I'm sorry. I lost 600 bucks. 600 bucks. And I was like, shit. And then another rude thing that happened, as soon as I lost my money, you know, they have this thing where they're cleaning the tables and chairs after a person leaves because of COVID. And at that point, I lost 600 bucks. And one of the casino employees comes along and start cleaning my area as if to say, you know, get the fuck out of here. And, you know, they did it kind of like in a rude way where they were like, you know, kind of smiling and laughing. And I'm like, you fat sloppy bitch, how dare you? But again, you can't default and say they're racist. They're just probably assholes, whatever. But of course, I came down to play poker. So, you know, I came with about $2,000 because I know how poker can go. And so I ended up going to get a hotel, the Quality Inn. I told you about that experience. And then I came back after I checked into my hotel. So I'm going to turn around and go back. So after checking into my hotel, I went back to the motherfucking poker room. And then I ended up getting most of my money back within the first 10 minutes. I was just lucky. I was just catching hands like crazy. I had, I think I got quad eights, and a guy got a straight, and he didn't notice that, you know, I don't know how this shit went down. Actually, I got quad eights. No, I had a full house. I'm sorry. I had a full house, and the guy had a straight. But the way the hand played out, he didn't notice the straight. What happened was that he flopped the straight. And what happens after that is that I ended up, you know, catching, he flopped the straight. I flopped trips. It was some old PLO, pot limit Omaha type shit. He flopped the straight. I turned a set, and then the board paired on the river. And I basically, at that point, I bet something like $20 He raised me 60. I shoved all in, and the dude was actually from Indiana, I think. What did he say he was from? Someplace in far out Indiana. Brother too. So we ended up going all in on that hand, needless to say, and that was like $300 just off that play of hands right there. So I ended up getting half my money back off that one hand. And then a lot of fantastic stuff just started happening. I just started, getting aces and kings, and people were calling and they were holding up. So I would say within an hour, I had basically all my money back, but I ended up pushing on one guy. I think I had like a 9, 10, 9 of like heart and a 10 of spade. And then I think I hit a 9, but then the spades came out. I ended up getting the flush with 10 high flush. And then what happens after that is that I ended up betting 60. He bets 160. I kind of at that point knew he had better than the 10, but you just never know. I called. He had one card higher. He had jack of spades. So slowly but surely, I end up losing some of the money. So all in all, I'm about 300 in the hole. So after that, I played a little longer and just wasn't making any serious progress. And then at some point, it was like 4 in the morning. I was like, fuck it. I already paid for the shitty hotel. I may as well go back, get as much sleep as I can so I can get up in the morning and come back, right? So let's talk about the reason I'm actually making this video. So I made this video to talk about the Grown Lil Boy. So you guys know that he has recently been convicted, right? And if you don't know who the Grown Lil Boy is, and you're just tuning in to on this video for whatever reason, the Grown Lil Boy, or Larry, is essentially a R. Kelly persecutor. That's how I'm going to label him. He has a channel called the Grown Lil Boy, and as it turns out, he was convicted of fraud. He had this scheme whereby he would get credit cards. He would use prisoner information. He would use information from convicted felons, and he would take that information to get credit cards somehow involved with medical services. Then what he would do is that he would take those credit cards and he would actually, run the bill up and get as much as he could, and he wouldn't pay the bill. So somehow the feds caught his ass. I wonder how the feds actually caught him. But you know how the feds work. Eventually they're going to catch you, especially in this day and time, because everything you do has a paper trail, either on the phone or there's a paper trail, somewhere on a computer. And God forbid if you have anything sent to your house. So needless to say, I don't know I'm not a criminal, right? So I don't know how they caught him, but I can imagine in this day and time, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but in this day and time, you got to be pretty damn smart to not leave any, and I wouldn't even say smart, you got to be disciplined to be able to commit financial crimes on the internet and not need a trail. Like if I was a criminal and I wanted to commit financial crimes, I think the first, and I'm not condoning committing financial crimes, and I'm not trying to encourage people to commit financial crimes, but the first thing I would do is I would go and get a computer that I can just, a throwaway computer, or I would go and get a disposable computer. That's the first thing, right? So then I would only use that computer in random coffee shops throughout, LA. That's where Larry is. Throughout LA, I would never stay at one designated coffee shop. And I would try to pick the coffee shops so as to not, I would try to pick the coffee shops as to not create a pattern, even though that's going to be hard to do. And then, of course, you're going to need a disposable phone. You're going to need a burner phone. So those are two essential things I would use if I was committing some type of internet crime. And of course, I would never have anything come to my address. So he obviously had the cards come somewhere, and I wonder if he had those credit cards come to his address. If he did, that was probably one of his first mistakes, right? So, anyway, this is not a criminal mastermind video, but I just had to go off on a tangent, because I'm just trying to figure out what made him think that he wasn't going to get caught doing financial crimes. So anyway, he was an R. Kelly persecutor. And the reason I say that is because he has several videos on his channel where he advocates for R. Kelly to go to jail. But lo and behold, this motherfucker is a convicted criminal. And people are saying that he was trying to come after R. Kelly so hard because he was trying to, I guess, work with the feds, or he was working with the feds to get his sentence reduced. So I think all in all, he ended up getting 18 months. He ended up getting 18 months. But the prison time really isn't the actual prison sentence, if you will, right? Or the prison time that he received is basically minimum. The biggest problem he has is that he has a judgment against him for $1.6 million in restitution. $1.6 million motherfucking dollars in restitution. And I'm not sure why he agreed to that. Maybe that was probably part of the conditions in order for him to get out of jail. But me personally, I don't know if that 1.6 million was the total amount of theft that he and several other individuals committed. If it was, I would have tried to renegotiate my plea deal. I would have been like, hey, look, I'm not trying to fight, this charge. I admit to the charge. You caught me red-handed, but 1.6 million, I didn't steal 1.6 million. So I